When young moms are faced with that initial diagnosis, it is incredibly shocking, of course, and almost always the first thing that comes to their mind is how am I going to tell my kids? We need to know first what is going to happen before we can share information. Oftentimes we start small. So this is what I have, this is what it's called. The doctors and nurses and mommy and I are going to make a plan, and then I will let you know. Knowing your kids and knowing what they can handle in a situation like this, it can be really challenging. You're dealing with a very serious diagnosis yourself as a young mom. So getting the support you need to is really important. So making sure you have a friend or a family member or even a social worker at the hospital that can help you organize your thoughts in a very disorganized period of time. When it comes to questions about illness, breast cancer, death and dying, kids repeat themselves. And that's really because they're checking in for consistency. And it may seem frustrating for a parent who's already explained that yes, the doctor's going to make an opening and take the cancer out. Keep to the same simple words that you're using over and over and over again, because if you change them, kids catch on and they're looking for you to make a mistake and to say, okay, you aren't really telling me everything, Mom, because you told me yesterday that they're gonna do this, but today you said they're gonna do that. What's going on? Oftentimes I meet with moms first to help them get comfortable with the words in their mouth. When you're talking about something as serious as I have breast cancer and I'm going to have treatment, and these things might be happening to my body and my hair might fall out. To go all at once is very challenging, but to offer small, simple statements, a little bit at a time that you've practiced saying. I'm always consistent in saying, Mommy and the doctors and the nurses are working on. Some children are really motivated and need lots of information. So I don't just let them explore the internet because that can be very scary. So we want to support them having an opportunity to look at something that you've maybe previously viewed. Similarly, you want to make sure that you're checking in with them constantly. So if they ask you a question, so what is this mastectomy going to be about? I like to be careful with my language. Cutting is scary, but making an opening, which is exactly what a surgeon is going to do, is a completely different response when you hear it. I like to work on themes. So we know Mom's going to have chemo first. So this is what's going to happen while I have chemo. Next, after my chemo, we're going to do the surgery. This is what's going to happen when I have surgery. By kind of compartmentalizing these, I find it's easier for children to understand, and they can break down each section and better understand it and ask questions about each aspect. I really want families to avoid using the word secret. Private is much more appropriate. This is a private topic that we're going to share just at home at the dinner table, or you can give a designated person in the family that your child can talk to if you're not available, or even their teacher. I think that feelings are a part of life, and it's really important to model feelings as much as possible because it helps kids understand that if they're feeling mad or sad or scared, it's normal. It's okay to be mad about the cancer. It's okay to be sad about it too. It's okay to be scared, and it's okay to be happy too at times when Mom's in active treatment, because life does continue and you continue to have joy in your life and happiness and fun and activities. I feel very strongly that if a mom is very emotional and knows that she's going to be quite tearful, to say that. You might notice that Mommy has some tears in her eyes or that I'm a little bit more upset, and that's okay. I will do my best, but I would also love a hug from you or a little drawing sometime. It will help cheer me up. After surgery, moms are feeling a little bit sore and a lot exhausted. And many times there are restrictions on what they can do as far as lifting, how much contact they can have. I love to brainstorm with families fun and unique ways to have hugs and loves. Whether it's something as simple as hand holding, or whether it's adapted or adjusted hugs. You can call them, different names. You can call them like a squeezy hug, and you can just give each other a squeeze, or even like a finger kiss. I'm a big fan of promoting play when it comes to anything, including breast cancer. Whether it's talking about what's actually going to happen to Mommy's body and using dolls and props to explain that, or just talking about the medical experience in general. Children love to act things out, and children love to master a skill by playing it out. I am a big fan of encouraging families to create their own resources too. And a lot of the time, what I would like families to try to do too is explain a little bit about the hospital experience by printing up pictures. You can take the photos yourself of what your doctor's office looks like, or even your radiation technicians and what they look like and what the room looks like when you're having radiation. So you can take these photos yourself, or you can find them online, but I typically will clip some art off the internet or take actual photos of the actual operating room that the mummy might get to go in, and I'll share these with children that I'm working with. There are lots of wonderful pre-existing products out there that are not specialized in any way other than they're lots of fun to explore, and they're toys. Playmobil does a lot of medical. There's actually a hospital that you can buy, but these are the smaller kits where you can have just a patient. So when a mom's going to be in the hospital for a little bit of time after her surgery, or if a child is motivated and wants to learn a little bit more about operating rooms, there are actual kits and small toys that you can buy that are specifically operating room and patients. So you're really only limited by your lack of imagination when it comes to playing with children and talking about concepts that are related to feelings, the hospital experience, breast cancer specifically, and your body. All of these things are really great general themes that really help children understand and cope better when mom has cancer.